I take another moment to catch my breath, and then I gather my strength into the hand on the door. Blood seeps from my fingertips, slowly trickling down the rough surface. It reminds me of my death. I'm coming for you. I push open the door, praying that it'll be the last. That beyond it lies light for Giselle. And if possible, that it might cast a bit of light on Morgana's heart as well. But, hi? It's the bedroom again? Is this like a weird loop, or did she just decide to install the bedroom in the top of the tower here just to mess with us again? Okay. What? However, why am I... Oh, we're never getting into the observatory tower, isn't it? We just got teleported back. Morgana's like, no, this is the where you think the story's gonna end. No, we're going all the way back in time, boy. Another door time. Why am I in my bedroom? What I find behind the door is the last thing I expect. What? As she appears in the shadows of my chambers, I can't conceal my surprise. I can't tell if you're the real Giselle or not. Giselle? Is this another illusion, Morgana? No, it's not. I'm the real me. Prove that you're real me. Thank you for coming all the way here for me. She's thanking me. So why isn't she smiling? Oh, that was very kind and courageous of you, Michelle. I'm deeply moved you would have such compassion only for her, but for someone like me. But do you know what else you are? Oh, are we gonna actually sit down and figure out what was going on with Michelle, like his past? You're a worm. No, like, would you still love me if I was a worm? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm still lovely as a worm. What is it this time, Morgana? Just nonchalant. The insults will never stop coming. What do you say we pull back the curtain, my dear? What curtain? Yeah, the curtain that you just have in your room over there. The one covering the only window in this room. Come on. There's one detail that hasn't yet come to light. Oh, this isn't your first return to the mansion, is it? You've been back numerous times. Each time not remembering her, and each time hurting her even more. What are you talking about? It's a never-ending loop. Oh, is it this thing that he has to confront his own past, and if he doesn't, this entire thing loops over and over again, apparently? Or it's just massive lies, honestly. The gaslighting, yay. What am I talking about? Oh, you know good and well, my dear. Or do you honestly believe that all the other pieces were in their rightful places, and you alone were some exception? I thought I was special. I never... Tell me, how was it? Living in so many different eras, not knowing who you were, and playing with all the different men. Okay? No, you're out of your mind. You make it sound like I was... Not like, my dear. You are the white-haired girl. Oh, so this literally... Okay, so it is turning into that kind of story. Huh. Enough. How could anyone possibly confuse me with her? Oh, to tell you the truth, I couldn't see as anyone else. Oh, wow. Fuck you. Your white hair, red eyes, porcelain skin, and your name. But that has another L and E in it. It's not me. Tell me, what about you isn't the same? How he presents himself now, I guess. We're not the same person. I saw the letter. What? The one you had hidden. No. And you didn't think that was worth mentioning? No, Giselle, I didn't mean... Oh, you're exactly right, my dear Giselle. Is this turning into a phobia thing now? This segment. He deceived you. He kept a very important secret from you. Despite showing up before you multiple times, he cast you aside again and again. No, that wasn't me. It wasn't. It all makes sense now. Nothing you ever did was for me. Giselle, I... Oh, go on, Giselle. Tell me exactly how you feel. What was in the letter, exactly? That, like, changes the entirety of him, of that. Like, how, like, you didn't do it for me, you did it all for yourself. Like, did the letter, like, have some, like, very personalistic journal or something? I think that was the letter from, like, the mom or, like, his brother, right? If I'm remembering right? Michelle? Don't. Please don't. Don't say it. Not that, please, I'm begging you. You're... Stop. Please don't. Please don't, Giselle. Not actually... Please. Don't say it! Man at all, are you? Oh boy. You're disgusting. Wow. Wait, this is at least happened several times before then, like, that means, like, this is the, oh, he has to get over this part, actually. If he doesn't, he'll just forget and do this all over again, if Morgana's being truthful here. Yeah, oh boy. You're the only one it could have been, my dear. Oh yeah, okay, so I guessed it right. It was a weird fucking twisted sort of a weird revenge thing of him, putting Michelle back, quote-unquote, how they were born, honestly. God damn it. The only one who could have been the white-haired girl. But it could have been someone else. It could have been someone else not special. The next moment, my whole world comes tumbling down. I could have borne anything. Losing my arm, have my face torn off. Any impound pain, I could have handled it. But emotional pain, no. For you, I could have done it. But this, hearing those words from you, come from your mouth, being rejected by you, that I cannot. Those words bury me alive. And you're the one person I never wanted to hear them from. Well, it was kind of already easy to imagine, like, that's the only reason why he was being pushed into the house here, but, like, Like, I'm trying to think exactly, like, what would be the catalyst that make everyone just think of him as, I don't know, some sort of demon or something else. Like, they just... Michelle did say that at some point he did resurrect Morgana, bloody rituals and all that, so, like, what was the one thing that happened before he was moved out here? What was that? What did he do that was so bad back then? Or, quote-unquote bad, actually, I should not say. I should say, actually. Because in this time it was mostly just... They just found out that he didn't want to be a girl anymore, and that's pretty much the only reason. I'm more curious of, like, how his family can revelation. Me and his brothers are taking it in stride, and his mom was like, I don't know, some weird thing, I guess, of him. Oh God, it's one of those things like, he's going through a phase right now. Oh, he'll get over it soon. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, fuck off. When I learned my father Antonin had passed, I wrote 2 letters, one to my brother and one to my mother. I'm assuming the one to your mother, you just said, I'm still a man, I'm still gonna present myself like this. Okay, I'm coming back now. Okay, thank you, love you, bye. And mom's like, oh, we can't have that. And literally decided to send a group of people to kill you? Jesus Christ. It was the first time I found the courage to face my mother, to open up to her. I wanted to show her who I was, convince her that I wasn't cursed. Oh, so you never really talked about it, and now you just wrote everything about how you felt down onto paper, and the whole entire thing was just too alien for your mother, and I guess, I don't know, demonic. Oh God, is there a whole, like, I don't know how it'd be in the past, but, like, the whole thing of, like, you're trying to change your own, like, people would just, like, view that and view the I guess, the possibility of trying to change your own self, like, like, not see yourself, like, as a man or a woman and try to be the opposite? Would they assume, like, to be, like, the whole thing of, in religion, like, you're going against, like, God's creation of you? That type of thing? Is that how they take it? Or literally just the more ignorant way of, like, how dare you defy social conventions or whatever have you? I can't tell which is worse and which is better. I wanted to show her who I was, convince her that I wasn't cursed, so that I could be myself and return to the capital with Giselle. Dear Mother, there's something I wish to tell you, something that means a great deal to me. So I ask of you, please, hear me out. And I ask you, please accept it. Mother, I no longer bear any resentment for my present lot in life. Nevertheless, I would ask you to concede one thing, that I was never cursed. That I was always your son. That I am Michelle, not Michelle with the L-E. I found someone whom I care for dearly. A woman. Oh, it's probably, oh my gosh, is it literally just because of that? Like, both in combination. Oh boy. Oh boy. And I love her with all my heart. I would like to spend the rest of my life with her. I do not wish for much, simply to have a quiet life with her, to go through our days together, man and woman. That is the one thing I want. Mother, I know you're aware that my body is no longer female. I am a man. Like, well, from how you described that, what did you do to yourself then? Like, I'm assuming you did it after you came to the mansion here, and with how far the past that takes place, what did you exactly do to him, I guess, do a transformation, honestly? Because I don't think HRT is a thing back then. The closest thing I can think of, honestly, is if you're experiencing more body dysmorphia, is literally just I don't know, like wearing some like more I guess like binder or like a binder or something to like press against your chest, or I guess if it's gonna be more extreme, just cut them off. But I don't know if you would really do that, especially by yourself. And I'm pretty sure if you done that, and what was it, I think the guard up there would have caught wind of it. I'm pretty sure they would have actually told your mom. So my heart is male, and I ask you to please accept that. I have no grudge with you. In fact, I am incredibly grateful to you for bringing me into this world. With love, your dear son. Shortly after sending that letter, I was killed. Yeah, probably should have waited and maybe said all it to your brothers first, and then told your mom like in the moment, because the whole entire thing was literally just for the stupid thing about again, as I brought up before, like the whole family does not want the whole outside world, the public, to know that you existed, being a quote-unquote abhorrent monster, which again, literally that's another reason why I do like the concept of monsters and toying around with the idea and metaphor, honestly. Like, there's definitely some people, and definitely me at some point, that I thought I was a monster in a sense. At least in the more disgusting sense of the word for it. But yeah, no. I'll take that label and put it to myself anyway. In my own terms. Yeah. I'm dragged down. Against my will into the darkness. Beneath me spreads my own past. My door. The door I swore never to open. Despite all my efforts to resist, the door sucks me in like a vacuum. Into a world I never wanted to see again. A history I never wanted revealed. A past I never wanted anyone to see. Nonetheless, the door opens. Hey Giselle, you coming along with us? I'll hold your hands while we go through this. I'll show you the tour of the sights of the house and the mansion I used to live in before here. The 7th door. 1086 to... What is that? Oh, is that... Is that the text box, like, motif for this one? I have no idea. I'm looking at there in the bottom right. Like, what is that? Okay. There are two things out of ordinary about that baby. The first, its parents embraced, and the second they wholly rejected. Although, it was some time before the baby's second peculiarity emerged. Yeah. And until it finally did, no one was any the wiser. Not even the child itself. Itself? Oh my god, are you kidding me? Its mother oh god, we're doing this pronouns. Okay then. Oh, wait, is this from, like, Michelle's perspective, and he's, like, referring to himself as an it? Oh god. Its mother surely enjoyed that brief period of happiness, before her child finally realized the truth. Blind to the fact that the moment it had let out its first cry, everything came crashing down. Or, wait, did it actually come out that, like, he, like, liked a girl before he transitioned, or anyone knew about that, and that's the reason why people, like, looked at him as weird and, like, pushed him out to the mansion or whatever? I don't think it'd be a catalyst to hide him away, though. Hmm. There was that flashback saying like, I think a girl was saying, like, who found out about him and just was disgusted about that? Hmm. To this day, she still doesn't know the child she gave birth to, because she never bothered to learn. That she set loose a curse upon the world. A curse that turned angels into demons, humans into witches. I don't know, sounds pretty cool if you ask me. I like how there was a whole thing about amnesia, like what was it, the other what was it, amnesia rebirth, and I actually kind of liked the sort of idea they're going for, of like a monster was like slowly growing into one of the main characters like womb, honestly, and she was worried about that, but like honestly it was like pretty nice, monster baby, let's go. Like, it doesn't really exactly bother me, like, god, it just sounds pretty cool, honestly. Antonin. Oh god, we're dealing with this guy again. Yay. My god, look at that. She's beautiful, isn't she? Have you seen her laugh? Not yet, I haven't. At any rate, color's certainly something else. You're talking about his eyes, or God's gift to us? No, she's an angel sent from heaven. An angel? Yes, I could see it now, Liddy. Her white hair and almost translucent skin, it's beautiful. My, she opened her eyes. Oh, sorry. My, she opened her eyes. Maybe she felt you nearby. Or heard you, honestly. Do you like your father more than me? Is it that, sweetheart? Gorgeous, aren't they? Such a deep, enchanting color. Like two little jewels. Uh, that they are. A magnificent shade of red. I've never seen anything like it. Well, I know babies technically, don't they have a thing of, like, when they're born, like, their eye and hair color changes as they grow up fast, actually? It's kind of weird learning about that. The red eyes are always set in stone at birth. Never seen anything like it. And this is our child. She's special. I can feel it. We'll take good care of her. She's a name. Oh, one that's just as special as her. Have you already chosen, Antonin? You were the one begging for a girl. You do it. Besides, I already had to rack my brain for the boys' names. Now it's your turn. Are you really gonna let me? My, that's quite a lot of pressure. Name her after an angel, then. Oh, I like that. Alright, then. We'll call her Michelle. It's the Archangel Michael. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, like, you just named, yeah, named named him after, honestly. I'm curious, like, why he decided to change his name to Michael, honestly, and just kept it to Michelle, honestly. I'm curious. You'll grow up to be beautiful as an angel, my Michelle. I've always wanted a little girl. Always, apparently. Always, apparently. Always. Ah! With her snowy white hair, skin so pale you could see the veins beneath it, and her ruby red eyes. She was a peculiar looking little girl, and her mother showered her with love. Is this from Morgana's narration, actually? She truly believed her daughter was an angel sent from above, born as a human child. The blessed babe, born a girl, was given an angel's name. Me. Micheel. Oh, that's your portrait before. Huh. Checkmate. Don't know if, Don't know if I should go for a female voice, like, before he transitioned or not. And I immediately forgot how to pronounce your own name. God damn it. God damn it. God. I see, that's what you did. Curse, I completely overlooked that. The fucking bishop was over there, hiding in plain sight. I thought you were advancing with your pawns, but that was all a diversion. You're too short-sighted, dear. You need to look at the big picture. Okay, the big picture. Sometimes the tactician, not the soldier, holding the sword. You got me. You're quite good at this, Michelle. One spider takes an aggressive strategy. It was not inspiration. It was derivation. I don't think I've ever used that word before. Derivation. Chess is in many ways similar to real war tactics. Ah, my military texts. You read all of them. Psychological warfare, go. Advancing the front lines, let's go. You haven't read all of them, have you? Yes, even the gruesome ones. I have nothing but time. Impressive, even I haven't read all the books in my room. You plan to join the order with all that kind of knowledge? You jest. You're the one who's going to be a knight, Didier. That I am. War is the men's job after all. Oh, we go into sexes and stuff too now. I want you to be there to welcome me home. Oh, hi, the other brother, okay. Oh, hi. I'm assuming it pronounces actually Jorge's right? Or just Jorge, right? Didier! Oh, Didier! Oh, shit, sorry. What was that line again? A bit of a bind could... Oh, hello there, Michelle. Oh, okay, there you go. I didn't know you were home, and Jorge. I actually do like him, the little, there's like portrait frames, honestly. That's how they're doing it for all the characters here in the past, actually. Like, before Michelle, you know, he went to the mansion, honestly. Huh. Interesting. It's actually a really nice style. I didn't know you were home, Jorge. Just got back, yep. Oh, playing chess again, are ya? Let's see, what do we have here? Get away from the board! Yikes, you got trounced, huh? Oh my gosh, the humiliation. The humiliation I lost. And you call yourself her big brother. As if you're any better. It's not funny, Jorge. Cannot prove someone who can't keep up with the flow of battle becoming a knight. In her family's rank, he would eventually be put in charge of other soldiers. What, are you worried about me? Oh, he was meant to be I guess a leader in the army? No, I'm saying... I've been blessed with such a caring sister. Oh, but fear not. I have a guardian angel after all. Where's the logic in that? The guardian angel is, like, right there, watching over us, just following after me invisibly. It's kind of, kind of creepy, honestly, by the way. I don't ever get a second's peace without them around. Sorry to interrupt your moment, but... Does nobody listen to me? God. No, don't pout. Those seem to be the problem, Jorge. Ah, yes. Well, listen to this. The royal court is holding a swordsmanship show. For some reason, I was selected to participate. How unfortunate for you. I can already see you in the ground, sobbing. That's just mean. Besides, my hands weren't meant to hold a sword. I'll easily get calluses. My gentle, fragile hands. What, you rather, like, carry any like, other kind of weapon? Like a bow or something? Or, like, I don't know, something, like, I guess something less, force on the sword? I don't know, like, I don't even know, like, what would be a good substitute for a sword. Like, that's, like, a very heavy, like, slashing weapon. So, like, I don't know, a rapier, honestly, or just, like, a fencing weapon, honestly? That's the best thing for you, I guess? Okay. Look at these dainty fingers. These dainty, soft finger hands. They're covered in calluses. Dainty calluses? Oh, okay. the second you just touch one of them, they just, I don't know, they just burst. Okay, I don't know. Tell me, why would they have an artist sword fight? Because it's part of the family legacy. All the men apparently have to fight like that. Oh, is that where Michelle was like that whole thing? Like he was trying to get into that competition, honestly, or like that whole thing of like proving yourself or whatever. That's the whole point, I would think. Then you get so worked up. No one's expecting you to win, and not even me. Maybe not, but we do have a name to worry about. And you know what that means, don't you? I'm gonna lose, that's a given. Lose on your own terms, givenly. Lose with style. Lose so much that people have to ask, how the fuck did he manage to lose that badly? That's the best way to do it. I want to do it in style. Pirouette into the air and face plant like you trip on a banana that was just right there. Okay. I feel bad for your sword. It snaps in half. Oh, don't be like that. Oh, come on. Time's a-wasting. To the courtyard we go. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Just so you know, if I train you, I'm gonna train you right. More calluses! I want to know if that'll look good. What is it, Michelle? May I watch? Fine with me, but you know you can't go outside. What? Okay. I'll be watching from the hall. I can open one of the windows facing the courtyard. Still, you need to be careful. You can't spend too much time in the sun. I know. It's probably gonna focus maybe in that, I guess, sword competition, or like, I guess using a weapon to, like, for the competition, honestly, to prove, and also, I guess I'll probably see him, what was it, I was gonna be like, a sort of thing where, Michelle, like, wears a disguise, and then, meets a girl, honestly, that one with the flashback, and, they fall in love, and then she finds out about him, and, that whole flashback comes into play. Oh boy. I had two older brothers. The eldest, Didier, belonged to an order of knights that served the church. And below him was Jorge, who served as a court artist. He was, in all likelihood, who would inherit the family estate. Ah, Jorge, okay. As knights were not formally allowed to own property. I wonder how that came about, that law, then. Nevertheless, the Bollinger family was upheld by Didier. And then there was me, the youngest. The only daughter. Not for long! Physically, I was not in particularly good health. There would be no more daughters on this line soon. God. Physically, I was not in particularly good health. Because of the color of my skin, I was hypersensitive to sunlight. I rarely left the estate. Oh, is that the reason why they said you can't be outside a watch? It's mostly just in sun? Okay. Well, that makes more sense than the whole thing of you're only allowed to be in the house, sister. That whole thing, or like no girls can watch this. It's a man's sport type thing. God damn it! I thought it was that for a second. I rarely left the estate. My world was contained entirely within these walls. Perhaps out of some sense of pity or compassion, my two brothers spent a good deal of time with me. At least you're close. Didier played chess with me, and Jorge taught me how to draw. And among other things, they taught me how to read and write. For a girl, I was incredibly fortunate. The one thing I wasn't allowed to do, though, was hold a sword. Couldn't even touch it with a finger. While hardly anything unusual, it bothered me deeply. I want cool weapons. I want cool swords. I want to hold a shield. And it had for as long as I can remember. If I had been told I couldn't do it because I lacked the strength, I probably would have accepted it. But the reason given was not that I was weak, but that I was a girl. Oh, yay, it's this dismissive thing. It's like that whole thing, yay. With each passing year, the smoldering frustration back in my heart grew larger. Oh, Jesus, loud. Oh, my God. Come on, put your back into it. Like I said, all I want to do is put on a good show. Fancy. Lots of spinning. Pirouette into the air. Oh, you'll put on quite a show, unless you learn how to swing the sword properly. Or if you want to do dramatic, honestly, just purposely get nicked by the sword and the blood splooshes into the crowd, like daintily. Not a deep cut, just like, just fall into the ground. And there's a very second, like, the match is called, just like get up, like spring up on your steps with a nary scratch, barely, just completely fine, not wounded at all. It's like, okay, that whole farce is over with. Okay, I'm gonna go inside and do more art. God, give me a break. I'm the garden. My two brothers traded swords bare-chested. They took off their shirts just for that. Okay. All I could do, though, was observe from afar, and every time I found myself forced myself to watch, I felt a sharp pain, like a needle piercing my chest. A needle that seemed to be growing ever thicker. My mother and brothers loved me dearly, but that didn't change the fact that the outside world lay beyond my reach. I was trapped in the estate of my own body, trapped in the house and trapped into the walls of my own self. Symbology. At first, I thought that was the root of my pain, but that answer seemed to contradict something else inside me. Something I couldn't explain. Something I couldn't ignore, even as a child. So I searched within myself, trying to find an explanation for that constant swelling sensation of wrongness inside me. Day after day, I gazed into the cavern of my own heart. My, now what are the two of them doing out there? Jorge has to do a swordsmanship show at the royal court, so Didier's helping him. Okay, we're not gonna get him portraits of him, his parents, okay. Probably for the better. Swordsmanship? Oh, I just can't stand those shows. Oh, like they're so dangerous. I can't watch people swing them at each other. It's so barbaric. Oh. Yeah. Why don't you come back to your room with me, Michelle? I would love to teach you how to sew. To sew, so. But Mom, I wanted to watch them practice. Michelle. First of all, you need to watch how you speak, young lady. You do not call me Mom, you call me Mother. This is what happens when you spend so much time around boys. As your mother, I don't approve of you playing chess or making art. A woman has no need for such skills. They will make you look insolent. But I want you to grow up to be a respectable woman. That is my job and my dream as your mother. Wow. Now come. I would rather you looked at some fine embroidery with me than a couple sweaty men. Okay. Yes, Mother. You are my little girl, after all. Spending time with my mother was agonizing. Yeah, I can imagine. Was it because her world was so isolated? Maybe in part, but not entire, yeah. No, that wasn't it. Her gentle voice, the sweet scent of her perfume, the way she constantly told me how much she loved me, and her diatribes about how wonderful it was to be a girl. Everything she did put so much pressure on me. But above all, she loved to say, "You are my little girl, after all." There was nothing strange about that at all. Every time I looked into the mirror, I did see the daughter of a noble. That was who I was. So the only thing wrong was how I felt. And every time I was faced with the reality of who I was, my heart wavered. I had no interest in learning to embroider. I didn't understand why that was necessary. Excuse me. I knew what purpose it served. I mean, yeah, for, like, mending and, like, I guess making clothes, I guess, Everything she taught me I would need when I was wed off to some noble boy, but it was my responsibility to learn those things. It didn't feel right, though. It reminds me, like, there was another practice, like, what was it, weaving? I can't remember if it was, like, for basket weaving or, like, tapestry weaving, but I know for some of that, like, even still, it takes a lot of muscle to learn, actually, to properly use, I guess, some of the equipment. I can't remember what practice it was, though, but I definitely remember hearing there's actually someone back there, back in the times where they were really strong, or at least their hands and arms were, after, like, using that equipment, honestly, to properly make, like, some fabrics, honestly, or, like, those baskets, honestly. Like, it takes a lot of, like, dexterity and strength to actually slot them into place, or just some, like, Don weave. Again, I can't remember exactly what it was, but that's what I heard, and, And I can't imagine, like, no, this mom would not want that to happen. No, even though it's still clothes, and, It's still, like, it still classifies, I guess, like, under the gender, like, chores, honestly, like that from a girl's duty, though. So, But from the sound of it, like, yeah, I guess from the sound of it, she doesn't want him to do that for all that. Yeah. And even, I guess, as a noble, there wouldn't even be a reason to do that, so they'll just be left for the peasants back down there to put in their words. Yay. I couldn't even accept the fact that one day I would be married. Oh, betrothal stuff. Is that, that flashback that, wait, no, I'm stupid, actually. No, of course, it'd just be with another guy, honestly. I'm being stupid. Was it a guy or a girl in that flashback, actually? Oh my god, I can't remember now. Jeez. I think it was a girl, though. I couldn't even accept the fact that one day I would be married. It was but an ominous shadow lurking in my future. I would have preferred ravaging the books in Didier's room than having a conversation with my mother. Tales of heroes of old and dauntless soldiers. The knights in shining armor, that whole business. Look at those books. Military texts written by tacticians in the midst of war. Oh, is it a whole, like, I wonder if that was the reason why, like, when Giselle was looking through that book, honestly, by the fire, honestly, with him, like, that's why he grew so uncomfortable about it, actually. It was, like, the same stuff he used to read, like, back here. Or you wanted to read back then, and, like, getting reminded of that, and, probably had to come to terms of maybe trying to say what that secret was, honestly, at one point. Like, to Giselle would be something he had to do in the future, honestly. Especially since I'm, like, literally I'm, undressed in front of him. And that'd be the whole thing of, like, if they wanted to take the next step in their relationship, you probably have to tell her that, or Giselle would learn ahead of time, or I guess there'd be some friction. Thinking about them set my heart aflutter, and made me think about my brother. He was training to be a knight. I envisioned armor flecked with rust, a longsword gleaming with the blood of savages. Soon I found myself in my fantasies, imagining how the sword would feel in my hands. I crept out of my room in the middle of the night just to hold that sword. The sensation the hilt beneath my fingers, swinging it gallantly, like my brother. How heavy was it? How much muscle would I need to carry it? How much impact would I feel in my hands when I struck something? How restricted would my vision be wearing a helmet? How much did it weigh? How hot was inside? Well, if you wear a helmet for that long, yeah, you just be fogging up your inside, so it'd be very hot after a while, especially in the leather, honestly. Oh boy, that's about to get used to that. God damn it. No way of answering any of those questions, though. You know, text box is even different as well. Guess they're like, since it's a story like mostly focusing him on Michelle and his brothers, honestly, like their relationship from the sound of it, and in part, I guess, of their mom. Kill me now, wheeze, wheeze, death, destruction, sweating, I have some cloth if you like to wipe yourself off. Oh, yeah, thanks. I'm so dead. You were at it for a long time. I never known Dee to half-ass something once he gets started. Which I guess is what makes him knight material, but... Are you opposed to him becoming a knight? Well, you know, I kind of assumed he'd inherit this state and the handle taking care of everything, but now it's on me? God damn it. So it's like, why is he gotta go and be some priest whipping boy? Whipping boy? Don't tell him I said that, though. Okay. I don't quite understand that. Okay. He wants to fight for the greater good. I don't know. As for the name, he wouldn't be doing much fighting himself. Anywho, someone as passionate as him might be able to make changes for the better. Changes? He knows what condition the order is in. That's why he's joining. Figure he wants to whip him to shape, melt him down, and reforge the whole thing. Huh. So you might be able to change things. What are you muttering about, Michelle? Hey, whoa, hold it. The pain I felt in my chest when I smelled the sweat emanating from Jorge's body. I looked at his slender but distinctly male build. I was convinced it was admiration. Did I want to become a knight too? Maybe the discomfort I felt was because I wanted to be like him. Would it all go away if he were able to change the rules and I could join the order as well? I was positive it would. Guess you would ask him and find out. Didier! Michelle, hold on. You can't come barge in my room unannounced. I'm trying to change. We need to talk. I said stop. You're a girl. You can't just walk on a man as he's changing. Isn't a reason for you to be so self-conscious. Listen to me, Michelle. Hori tells me you're planning to overhaul the order. He told you that? No, I hardly have such grand aspirations. Don't be coy. I believe you have what it takes to do it, Didier. What's gotten into you? You're unusually fiery today. So I want to ask you a favor. When you have enough influence in the order, I'd like you to make me a knight too. You what? I'm tired of the way Mother treats me. Always saying I can't do this or that because I'm a girl. I want to learn how to swing a sword. I don't want to do embroidery. I don't care about jewelry or fancy clothing. Michelle, what's gotten into you? I'm so much more interested in the world you live in, Didier. So please. Well, I'll be. Because we must have let ourselves spend too much time with you. Not you two, that's exactly what Mother said. First of all, Michelle, you don't have the strength to hold a sword. And I'll train until I do. And if that doesn't work, I still have my mind. You know good and well I could... People are not chess pieces, Michelle. But Didier... But above all, you're missing the most important point. I will not, for any reason, become the kind of man who makes a woman take up a sword. Didier... This may seem normal to you growing up with two brothers. But I want you to listen to me, Michelle. Men and women walk different paths. Men wield swords and fight against dangerous enemies. I wonder who put that in place, though. They do so to protect the weak, women and children. I'm here to protect you and your mother. You're not different than her. You don't treat me any different than her. Honestly, what's gotten into you, Michelle? Why wouldn't I treat you like a daughter of the Bollinger estate? Because, I don't know, because you're not going to inherit the estate, so why? Your brother and I, we never meant to make you think, forget it. What? I'm sorry, I knew what I was asking was foolish. Oh? I thought you would understand how I feel. Even just a little bit. I wasn't expecting him to understand. Even I didn't understand the things I felt. I want to know what had gotten into me as far more than he did. What I had done was no better than throw a temper tantrum. Was I that desperate to become a knight? Probably not the role itself, but like, well, I guess the closest role model for you to figure out, I guess. No. I had just thought that was the key to the chains of my heart laid down that road, but ultimately, there was nothing. Assuming Didier had agreed, and assuming I did become a knight, it wouldn't do anything for the core problem. The dash from my brother's room, took a peek at him. Okay. His face is filled with an intense perplexity. And how could I blame him? I tried to push a dozen different ideals into him at once. Filled myself with a vain hope that he would somehow be able to make sense of me when I couldn't even make sense of myself. And now, bubbling with an unwarranted anger at being let down, I fled to my open chambers. I can only imagine how frustrating that must have been for him. Just springing it all onto him, honestly, and he's just like, what the fuck was that conversation? It was the spring of my 14th year. Heavy clouds filled the sky, blocking the sun and giving the impression of late evening all throughout the day. I, for one, preferred it when the sun wasn't out. Not that sunlight would kill me, vampire, but it was also bright enough that the whole world was so white I could hardly see a thing. Which meant I could only go outside on days when the weather made most everyone else gloomy. It was meandering through the courtyard. Hi. Oh, that's the girl. Okay, yeah. I spotted someone I'd never seen before. Oh, I like how she braided her hair around, honestly, above her head, honestly. That looks really nice for her. A warm breeze blew past, sending up a swirl of flower petals. The girl's dress hung lightly over her frame, tracing her gentle curves. Who are you? I asked bluntly, The girl twirled around, smiling. Oh, my apologies. You just have such a beautiful courtyard here. I let myself in for a little walk. I trespassed just to look around. I stole some flowers, too. Long chestnut hair flowed over round, feminine shoulders. It swayed slightly in the wind. The cloud of melancholy dissipated in the light of her smile. Oh, you must be Michelle. Amy. Oh, yeah, I think I remember hearing that name too before. Oh, you're just as pretty as I heard. And you are? My name is Amy. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. Finally meet me? What was she talking about? I stood there, baffled by this strange woman. She stepped toward me, kissed me softly on the cheek. I'm thrilled to make your acquaintance, Michelle. Her voice is like someone pouring honey into my ear. Electrifyingly sweet. I'm Jorge's fiancé. Oh. Oh boy, if that's what I'm thinking it's going. Oh jeez. And it also stuck their needle into my chest. Oh yeah, that's what Michelle said to Giselle before, honestly. Yeah. The crush, honestly. Which I guess was unrequited, but like... Actually, like, the flashback and also Michelle's own words, like... Was it, like, two different people, actually, then? Huh. She was a noble girl by the name of Amy Jobert. Jobert? Yogurt? Jobert? Though only 15, she was the very image of refined, polished to a shine. No one had told me my brother was to be married. It came out of nowhere. It seemed I was the only one who didn't know. That evening, when the family gathered around the dinner table for supper, Amy was there, too. And they prepared an extravagant feast for the occasion. My father Antonin looked so proud of his two boys. They were soon to receive an assignment, and Jorge soon to be wed. The banquet proceeded smoothly. Not a doubt in the air that we were a happy family. My mind was elsewhere. I found myself unconsciously chasing Amy with my eyes, watching the way those slender fingers gripped her spoon, her full lips parting to allow a piece of fruit in, her deep red tongue visible for but the briefest of moments. Interesting fixation right there. I don't think I've ever heard of that, honestly. I don't think I've heard of that part. People get fixated about that, okay? Wow. The way all the muscles in her face and relaxed in bliss as sweet juices seeped into her mouth. The way she spoke, so soft and gentle, letting each sound hang in the air just briefly before intoning the next. She was distinctly feminine, a different way than my mother. Apparently, Amy was going to be living in the Bollinger estate for some time. We new company. Mother was pleased to have another girl around. Oh yay, talk more about other things, like other feminine things besides, yeah. Oh boy. Or more specifically, she was relieved to have found someone other than my brothers for me to spend time with. Oh. I just didn't hate being around another girl. Surely she wouldn't be able to play chess after all. And chess and checkers is life. Chess is way to go. But for some reason, I felt much less suffocated around her than my mother. Can't tell just because of crush, honestly, or like, when you talk honestly, like you just got along well with her then, I guess? One night, Amy's family and an array of nobles from both houses social circles assembled at the estate for a party. Yeah, normal stuff. Like, I think, like, back then, like, most marriages, like, all that, weren't, like, a whole thing of, like, you know, like, doing the whole thing of, like, extending the legacy of, like, a noble family, honestly, but as a way, like, as well of, making connections in their family as well. And that's the reason why I'm, like, betrothal and marriage contracts were a thing back then. It was not less so much like about two people love each other, like I'm professing to be together forever, I guess, for each other, but also as a sort of way for the families to connect. I think back then it was mostly just about that, just to have networking, honestly. Wow, the wedding is just a networking event back then. Holy. It didn't the likes of which I never heard in my life fill the great hall. Everywhere I looked, there were people. Servants scrambled every which way. Silverware clanged against dishes in an almost constant hum. Voices from all directions. I felt moderately ill. Hello again. Hey, D, I feel like we're critically short on waiters. This doesn't look good for us. And who was it who went about inviting everyone he came across again? Who are these people? Is that every single person in the goddamn town? They're artistes like me. I met them at the court. Let's see, we have some painters, composers, sculptors, troubadours, okay, I heard that, poets, writers, you name it. None of them have any connections to Joe Burt's or the Borlingers. But they do. They're my friends. And you know, this is me and Amy's party. You can play with your friends elsewhere, but it's my party. Ah, the shame, the humiliation. I hope you realize we have a reputation to uphold. Oh, yay. Off in one corner, several men, presumably Jorge's friends, gathered in a circle. They stood up from the other aristocrats, both in appearance and the air they gave off. They're just over in that corner, just talking amongst themselves, just ignoring the rest of the group. The clothes they wore, the embroidery hidden beneath their jacket cuffs, their manner of speech, the way they held themselves. They were, simply put, a far cry from the hard-headed Didier's ideal party guest. Hard-headed? Make it sound like I'm a Didier wanting to invite soldiers instead as well, god damn it. Even watching them from afar, it's clear my two brothers ran in two very different crowds. The only reason headstrong Didier and free-spirited Jorge were able to get along at all was because they were brothers. Only that. Only that. If they had been strangers, I doubt their paths would cross much. And if they did, those intersections would be quite rocky. Hey, come here, guys! Jorge's shouting voice pulled my preoccupied mind back to the surface. He summoned his friends, and they all crowded in the middle of the room. Then led them to where I stood. Oh, they're surrounding us! What are you doing high in the corner, Michelle? I didn't even notice you. Let me introduce you to a few of my friends. Oh, no, Jorge's put his hands on my shoulders, peeling me off the wall, and standing me in front of his male friend. Just like, you're stuck behind. It doesn't make it sound like you're just stuck to the wall for so long, just like I'm like a Band-Aid peel. Come on, this way. Socialization was the last thing in mind. Just being dragged around the entire room every which way by the hand, god damn it. Just groaning all the while. I searched for Didier, hoping he would come to my rescue, but he was off trading pleasantries, facing away from me. Missing my baby sister, Michelle. Come on, be nice. Jorge, I don't... Gracious, your skin is even more pale than I imagined. It's like something out of a fairy tale. Why have you never brought her with you to court? She'd be a sure hit. And how old are you now? 12, mayhap? Now, don't treat the lady like a child. How do you know she's 14? Okay. Although a reason she should be out there making friends. The whole court flip if they knew you had such a gorgeous sister, Jorge. Don't be brute, my man. Our little angels be kept inside for personal reasons. Uh-oh, since I've been showing the lady here due respect. I need to properly introduce myself. How rude indeed. Their last grated on my nerves. Instead of the way Jorge spoke as though I was his property, It looked like they were appraising me, which made me sick to my stomach. I'm paying close enough attention to notice the man who had asked if I was 12. What? What? Oh my god. And the rest of them too examined me from head to toe in such curves. I was indeed underdeveloped for 14. But what's that matter? I didn't want a body shaped like Amy's or my mother's. No, then, milady, a proper greeting. The man got down on one knee before me. Oh god. We're supposed to like I didn't comprehend what he's doing. Go on, Michelle. He's waiting. He whispered into my ear. That was when it all came back to me. The traditional greeting performed between a man and a woman. Come on, Michelle. Don't tell me you forgot what to do. I knew the process. I had the knowledge, I did. Mother taught me the rules, showed me procedure ad nauseum. I was to present my hand to the man for him to kiss. All I had to do was hold him in my hand, but I was frozen. My body fought tooth and nail against the simple act. The thought of that man putting his lips to my skin sent a chill through me. Why? Why was this a traditional greeting? Why did I go through this? Michelle. The sound of Jorge's frantic voice, my arm creaked up from my side. Then I remembered that despite being his friends, they were still nobility. As one-town as his social interactions may have been, he still had a reputation to maintain. As I stood there, I also understood that as his sister, it was my responsibility not to do anything that might tarnish either of my brother's names. Wee-hee, woohoo. Also by tradition, also by this, also by that, also by procedure, the man wasn't supposed to actually kiss the woman's hand. The proper way to do it required he simply mimic the act, rather than make real contact. That much I could handle. The man kneeling before me gave an uncomfortable chuckle at my reluctance, shrugged and reverently took my hand in his. And then... he did anyway. He pressed his lips firmly against my skin. And there was a vaguely warm sensation in the back of my hand for the briefest moment. I can't... okay, let's hope it's not wet. Okay, Jesus Christ. What do you... Reflexively smacked the man's hand away. Or his eyes in horror, and the man gave me another playful shrug. I was merely offering you a greeting, milady. Or is that a new experience to you? Your innocence is truly precious. I was half a second away from throwing a barrage of insults. I bit my tongue and stomped off instead. What? Michelle? Hey, come back, Michelle! I spent all that time convincing myself I couldn't humiliate my brothers, but now, I wouldn't hear a word of it. I had drawn a fair bit of attention. Other people try to stop me too. Get out of the way! Just shove, push, back to chambers. I brushed them all off, marching away out into the great hall. Now I'm trying to think back to all the other stories now, like trying to think, if there was any other, like, thematic symbolism, even if, like, Michelle was always there as, well, taking the form of the white-hair girl, like, just besides the fact that the white-hair girl was just, like, there, honestly. I think even Morgana, like, literally purposely actually chose, like, before all that. Now I'm just wondering, like, even if it's reincarnation, like, what, would those versions of Michelle actually, like, still have this feeling of there's something wrong? Probably from the sound of it, like, those versions of Michelle, like, were fine being a girl, but, like, maybe just because they weren't, they didn't want to, like, their personality, honestly, was just like, oh, God. Oh, fucking God, I just realized. It's mostly just, like for Michelle, like, they were just more reclusive, I guess. It gets to look at it and think about it more. God damn it. I feel so dirty. You call that a greeting? No, that was not a greeting. That was... No, I'll be taking that. I say, practically swiping a glass of water off a passing waiter's tray. I need to drink my sorrows away. With it, I washed my hand by the window facing the courtyard. Disgusting germs. God. No matter how much water I poured over it, I couldn't erase the sickening sensation of his mouth on my hand. So I rolled up my sleeve until my skin was bright red. I want to feel something else. Anything else. Even pain. Think before you act, Jorge. What are you doing inviting people like that into our home? I was angry, and I had every right to be. He had not performed the proper greeting. Even in jest, he had no business actually putting his lips in my hand. It was not acceptable behavior for an aristocrat. He was a guest. He should have been ashamed. Was I angry that he had been disrespectful? No, that wasn't the reason. It was... That wasn't very nice, he running off like that. Throw the glass at him! At the sound of his voice, I couldn't turn back. I felt a sickening warmth almost directly against my back. Oh my God. The man from the great hall grabbed me by the wrist, spun me around and pressed me against the wall. Yay, kick him in the groin. Balls, go. The bittersweet of wine wafted from above. Oh, he's fucking drunk, yay. What the hell are you doing? I tried a second time to get away from him, but that was when reality sunk in. I couldn't do it. All the strength I could muster wasn't enough to make the man's hand budge. My arms were locked in place. I didn't think he was especially strong, either. He was hardly built like Didier. And still, I couldn't move an inch. Not even your legs? Not even your legs? Not even your knee? You got a tongue like a boy, milady. Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, but I know some people are fond of that these days. Oh. Insults, words. Okay, I was not thinking that way. I'm still fixated on when literally she was... Oh my god, I was still fixated on the fact of oh god, I forgot her name, Amy. The whole thing of Michelle, like, really watching her and that whole thing of tongue, that was still stuck in my brain, that was still weird to me. That was something I was not used to, and it's just breaking my bottom, my goddamn head, god damn it. Can't say I mind myself. Let go! Had I always been this feeble? My arms really so worthless I couldn't even escape this brute's grip? Why did I have to get stuck with his body? Now, just so we're clear, I'm not gonna hurt you. You kind of already are. I'm no monster. Oh, yay, that's coming up again. I promise you that. Then why are you holding me against the wall? Because I want a chance to try and woo you. Oh, wee. I apologize to make you comfortable back there. Just gonna lay my eyes on you. I knew you were a keeper. Yes, this is more uncomfortable. Then let go of me. Oh, but if I do that, you'll run away. It's my personal rule, never let go of anything I like. I wonder if you could play the long game, and in the middle of the night, when you're forced to be married to him, you could just take a knife and cut off his nutsack. I heard some people doing that before. Not going to extremes, yay. Your brother says you can't go outside, so if I set you loose now, I might never get a chance to catch you again. I want to vomit. Apparently taking my sounds for approval, the man perked up and kept going. If you're accustomed to being around men, then why not use this opportunity to get familiar? Familiar in what way? Not a bad idea, if I do say so myself. Yeah, because it's your idea. I think we get along quite well. You think. Besides, I'm a minstrel, and I forget what that entails, so who cares? Spend some time with me. Oh, yeah, forgot bard stuff. And I'll write you all the songs you could possibly want. Get away from me! Ah, you really do have the most striking eyes. Makes me want to keep them all for myself. You make it sound like you want to gouge out Michelle's eyes. God damn it. Oh, with a muse like that, I would write the most incredible songs you ever heard. I said get back, you creep! Huh, that's odd. That one's never failed me. The man brought his face and just inches from mine and peered into my eyes. I could feel his hot, wine-stench breath against my cheeks. With chills. Couldn't understand why this was happening to me. Panic, confusion, and my heart racing. Go and try your luck with someone else. I'm not interested. You'll be soon enough, darling. Oh, God. He's simply never known a man's touch. Oh, God. He drew closer. He was already practically on top of me, but still he closed in. Closer and closer. The world faded out. I couldn't see anything. I could feel his rising body heat so near made me nauseous. My eyes flung open, but there was nothing there. I could only feel... Well, I guess it's not as bad as what happened with Giselle. It's still sexual assault. I couldn't move. My body wouldn't budge. My mind had kicked the man away, pulled my fist back and slammed it into his jaw. Again and again and again until his face was unrecognizable. Again and again and again and again I beat him. But reality would have none of that. Michelle! What do you think you're doing? 3 seconds? 10 seconds? Longer? Oh, did you actually... you actually did hit him. I thought your brain was like, your brain was like, that was all your head and your body was just still frozen. I had no idea how much time I'd lost. Next thing I knew, Jorge's had the man by the collar. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, Michelle was still frozen. I fell back against the wall, staring absent-mindedly as the two struggled. They traded blows, they traded insults. Before long, they had drawn a crowd. While they went at it, I distractedly drifted away, just moved back further and along into the house. And I only had one place to go. Where's this? I didn't even bother to light a candle. I just stared into the darkness. My heartbeat was maddeningly loud in my otherwise silent chambers. What had happened? What had he done to me? Why couldn't I do anything? The last thing I wanted to do was cry. Tears only served to worsen my humiliation. Only magnify how wretched I was. Would make me more effete. I bit to my lip, hard. I had no need for that trash in my body. I dug my nails into my arms. Had no need for that trash in my body. All this, every last bit of it. That was why I was the way I was. I didn't know how to put it into words. Didn't know how to express this boundless frustration within me. After enough wordless groaning, a single word slipped from my lips, and it felt incredibly right. God damn it! I knew good and well a girl should not be using such words. Even Didier and Jorge would have gotten an earful from mother or father if they were caught saying that. Swearing is bad, Regardless, God damn it! It was the most fitting word I could come up with to represent even the smallest bit of my anger and loathing. I knew all I was doing was shifting the blame. That all it would accomplish was making me look pitiful. But I would take that over crying like a girl any day. To lose a sigh that was halfway to being scream and start clawing wildly at my hair. I wanted to yank out every last damn strand of it. I didn't want it. I didn't want any of it. Any of this body. But in that case, what did I want for my body? Michelle? May I come in, Michelle? It was Jorge's voice, slightly muffled through the door. The man who invited those people into this house. I'd be lying if I said I didn't hold out against him. Michelle. At the same time, he had also come to my rescue. Besides, I hated myself the most. I despised myself for being so helpless. I'm sorry, Michelle. I didn't mean to hurt you. It's not locked. After a few moments of silence, Jorge stepped into my room. Your hair's a mess, Michelle. My God, you're bleeding. That was when I first noticed the stinging sensation in my lower lip. I bit into it hard. Metallic taste spread through my mouth. I'm biting it much harder than I realized. There's a lot more blood than I expected. A trail was running down my chin, seconds from spilling into my clothes when Jorge wiped it away. I'm really sorry, Michelle. He can be a real ass when he drinks. That's just being an ass? And he's a bit of a womanizer at that. Never did he try to go after you, though. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. But, you know, there's a chance he may have, genuinely taken a liking to you. The fuck is your problem? That just makes it worse! Sorry. You're right. You want to be with a man you like, I understand. He ran his hands through my hair, trying to calm me down, at the same time cleaning up the mess I made of it. It made me feel like I was some kind of plaything. A joke of a doll. I don't want to be with anyone. I would never, ever be comfortable with a man putting his hands on me like that. However, I'm sure you'll find someone eventually, Michelle. Oh yeah, that's a classic thing to hear a lot. Even for people who mostly more asexual, that's a common phrase to hear. Yay, I'm sure you find someone eventually, Michelle. Someone that feels right for you. I feel kind of awful for introducing you to him, but there are plenty of men in the world. You might not be interested now, but that'll change soon. It's part of growing up. You'd be best off forgetting today ever happened. I was dead certain. Apparently that wasn't enough to convince him. The very idea that I might one day meet a man who I wanted to touch make my skin crawl. Why? Why did I feel like this? Was just not interested in men? In part. Now, if that were the case, I wouldn't admire my brother's bodies. That's a different type of admiration. Didn't have an aversion to men. But I enjoyed spending time with my brothers far more than indulging my mother in her women's world. What I couldn't stand was the particular look men would sometimes give me. But why? Why did I not like that? It's like slowly just unraveling how Michelle slowly came to the realization. I had no answer. My thoughts were only going in circles. Are you okay, Michelle? He peered down at me, his face twisted in concern, but I couldn't answer him. How was I supposed to articulate this? My anger, my frustration, my irritation, my fear. I had no confidence he would understand. Jorge, how's Michelle? Amy's voice came from the doorway, and all of a sudden, all the nervousness and the anger dissipated away. Inexplicably, it felt like someone struck their hand on my chest and was now squeezing my heart. Like I'd just been caught in a compromising situation with the last person I wanted to see. Oh, yeah, she's doing good. Are you? Yes, I'm fine. Glad to hear it. I was clearly lying, not even looking him in the eyes when I said that. But that seemed to have gone over Jorge's head. Amy, on the other hand, you don't look fine at all, she said, a hint of pain in her voice, and then entered the room. Jorge, Father was asking for you. He says it's time to bring the gathering to a close. You should get going. I'll stay here with her. Oh, is he? Alright then. Sounds good. Once the sound of Jorge's footsteps had faded into nothing, Amy took a seat beside me and, without a word, wrapped her arms around my shoulders. It's much better to talk to another girl at times like this. Don't know, it's a double whammy line right there. My heart leapt into my throat. Beyond the shock, I found myself welcoming the warmth. It was pleasant, unlike the man's. That must have been terrifying. But don't worry, you're safe now. It wasn't really... No. No need to pretend, sweetie. If a man had pointed me against the wall, I'd be scared too. I mean it, I wasn't scared. I'm just disappointed in myself. Oh, alright, I believe you. You're a strong girl, Michelle. There aren't many who would have been scared. I'll be sure to give Jorge a stern talking to about his choice in friends. Something I learned today is that he's somewhat of a pushover. Yeah, in part, yes, honestly. You're a lot more tenacious than I thought. Oh, as a woman in this world, you have to be. And if you're not, well, you'll figure it out soon enough, Michelle. Of course, even as strong as you are, I'm sure it'll still be difficult to forget what happened to you today. Jorge had told me to forget it as soon as possible, and Amy that I wouldn't be able to. Was it the difference in their individual perspectives? Or was it the difference between the way men and women thought? I wasn't sure. Individual, I'll say. As my head rested against their breast, a bit of my frustration slipped out. It's kind of mostly individual, but like also like how both are raised up and like how they came across to survive in the world, I guess. Probably mostly that what was it? Based on everything that we know of Jorge right now, yeah, everything's been given to him, honestly. Privilege and all that. As my head rested against her breast, a bit of my frustration slipped out. I couldn't move my arms at all. Didn't even seem all that strong. I couldn't believe that I was really so weak. And that's just the way of the world, Michelle. Men are physically stronger than women. So, you almost never overpower one. Let's go to the gym right now! You're not any weaker than a normal girl. Don't blame yourself. Though it wasn't the consolation I hoped for, her words still filled me with warmth. I exploited my own weakness to her more to hear that soothing voice. And I alone knew how foolish I was in doing so. It's probably how more and more I'm falling more and more in love, but for the sound of it, like, never really made a move, but Again, I can't tell if this is literally meant to be like the same person. I think this is the same exact background though. Like, oh yeah, this is definitely Chambers. Okay then. Ooh. Can't tell if it was definitely it was Amy as well. With the sound of it, From what I can recall, from the sound of it, Amy definitely never knew about Michelle's advances, but well, not advances, but thoughts, honestly, about, and, like, you know, feelings towards her. So, like, he never really made a move, honestly, ever, because of everything going on with that. But if Michelle was lying to Cell, then, oh boy, that whole flashback is gonna come roaring all the way back. Amy frequently visited my chambers. I didn't know if it was at Mother's request or of her own volition, but I prayed it was the latter. She was a very touchy-feely person. and she seemed a particular fondness for playing with my hair. Whenever her voice danced its way into my ears, it would wreak havoc inside me. Ah, so like, oh, they're doing the parallels of that now too. Hate when your own brother like touches and like plays with your hair, but when it's this girl, oh. Being enveloped in her scent day after day stoked the fire growing within me. I tried best to remain as straight-faced as possible, because the last thing I wanted was her catching on. I understood that the things I was feeling were untoward, to say the least. Your hair is so utterly enchanting. I've never seen hair so white before. I think having color is much prettier. Oh? Well, Jorge says white is the most difficult color to make with paint. There's no greater challenge than capturing the beauty of true white. Living with such a splendid example of the color must have given him a very high standard of quality. I thought for a second she said beauty there. For a second I was like, okay. Say, Michelle, maybe you could tell me about yourself today. I'd love to get to know you better. Tell you about myself? Yeah, we could become even better friends if you found some mutual interests. I enjoy playing chess. I consider myself quite good. Oh my, chess? Never played. You're such a bright girl, Michelle. Would you like to try? I could teach you. I appreciate the offer, but I think I'll pass. I doubt I'll be any good. Oh, okay. What else is there? Say, your favorite kind of flower, fragrance, color, gemstone. Oh, are there any embroidery patterns you're particularly skilled at? The exact same things mother's teaching, yay. I don't have any favorites, no. I'm not especially good with a needle, either. No? Do you have shaky hands, then? I just don't like it. I wouldn't say that, no. I'm fairly good with a knife, I think. A knife? Oh, like a kitchen knife. No, sculpting knife. Sculpting? Is that really so strange? It is a bit unusual, I'd say. But Jorge does all the time. His room is practically made of wood chips and charcoal and paint. I thought it was just, oh, like a court, okay, he's like dabbling in all sorts of art then. Not just like a court artist like they mentioned before. Like, the court is asking you to make sculptures of all the witnesses on the stand. Jorge's an artist. And a man. Gotta punctuate that at the very end, God. There's nothing unusual about him doing some sculpting. Why is it okay for him and not me? Does being a girly make that much of a difference? Well, why don't we practice embroidery together, Michelle? I get the feeling you spent too much time with your brothers. But now you have me. I'm sure it'll be long before you appreciate how much fun cooking and needlework can be. Like, I'll teach you how to do things properly. I'll do it, but I won't do chess. My god. She sounds just like Mother. She gives me the same reason to. Because I'm a girl. That's not an explanation. It's a vague generalization. Almost like dismissive. Like almost like when you ask teachers at school, honestly, why are we learning about advanced geometry or this stuff and math? Like, are we even gonna be able to learn that, use all this stuff in the rest of our life? And all they would say is, you just will. You just need to learn instead of giving even a pragmatic answer. Like even a pragmatic answer, just learning some skills honestly in logic or learning a bit of numbers honestly. That would have been a way better answer than just saying because you will. You just will. Don't worry about it. It's just the way of the world. It's just the way of the system. God. And that said, if I agree, I can spend more time with her. Okay. Wonderful. We'll come up with the beautiful designs together. And when you made something you're proud of, you can give it to a boy who catches your eye. Or, if you prefer, you can give it to your father or brother. I like Jorge's to have what I make, though. Oh, I've been wondering, did you and Jorge met at the royal court? I always feel tempted to always just call him George. I'm trying to go only to Jorge. Jeez. It's the S at the end which always gets me weirded out. Again, is the S meant to be silent? Oh my gosh. Oh, heavens no. Never been to the court. One day my father told me I was getting married. And the next day is when we first met. It happened that quickly? What, are you worried about me, Michelle? Don't worry, I'm not displeased with the arrangement. In fact, I'm quite happy with it. Wow, like, are you like, what was it? Are you glad for how it suits you, or you actually like Jorge? That's two different sides to it. Aristocratic marriages are almost always sudden. And as a woman, you get used to being at peace in their games. Oh my god. That's actually a fun way to, I guess, parallel that. Didier just saying, like, people are not meant to be pawns, but, like, of course, Amy would say the exact opposite. That, of course, like, back in those times, women would definitely be used as pawns, like, honestly. Again, what was it? God, I forget the words, honestly. Weddings and all that were literally just meant to be, like, sort of networking, honestly, just making connection between two different noble families, honestly. It's not about the marriage itself, it's about the contract and I guess the connection between the two that matters, not about the two individuals, honestly. But he's different. He's a gentleman. A gentleman? Him? You sound surprised. I believe hedonist suits him better. Oh, I quite disagree. I have complete faith he'll do good by me. Couldn't fathom where she found such confidence in him. Mostly probably just in, yeah, just suiting him up, like making sure like she's in a good place standing-wise. Especially a man she had only just met. How could you trust him at all? I can't quite tell if it's literally just because, like, like she, like, actually, like, fully buys into, like, what like, I guess being taught of, like, marriage contracts and all that, or literally, she's taking it pragmatically in a manipulative status, which, if that's it, then I'm, good on her. She's nothing but a pawn, and she knew it. She's, I don't know, she's, like, accepting her place, honestly, if that's the most polite way to put it. So maybe she was simply putting on an act. I had trouble believing her smile was anything but genuine, though. One day you'll meet the right man for you, Michelle. And he won't be a drunk like the guy from earlier. He'll be a kind, hard-working, respectable man. I would rather not find anyone. I suppose this is still too soon for you, huh? You will learn one day. That's what that line just cements immediately. Hands on shoulder, you will learn soon enough. You cannot hide. Say, how old are you, Michelle? 14. Oh wow, I assumed you were younger. Everyone thought you were 12 too. God. Do I really look that young? No hard feelings. You're just like a tiny little doll. So small and slender. And look, not one bit of meat up here at all. Hey! She playfully grabbed me from behind, started prodding my chest. As her delicate fingers slid across my skin, I found myself gripped by very indecent urges. Every heavy thump of my heart felt sinful. She couldn't know. I couldn't let her. Everything I'd been fighting to keep down came hurtling to the surface. You're so cold, you know that. Oh, like her skin is cold? Well, that's one thing, I know there's, like, some stories where, like, we, like, see, like, a character, like, find out they're trans, like, like, there's even one fanfic that, I liked, which, like, I think eloquently, like, showed, like, one character slowly learning that and accepting that. It always comes back as weird to me whenever, like, they primarily use, like, what was it, like, different, like, pronouns, honestly, before they transition. There's always a weird thing in my brain where, like, should I actually refer to their, like, pronouns before they transitioned or after they do that? And I'm getting that sense here, honestly, since we're primarily in Michelle's past before he transitioned. I'm now in a weird sort of mind whether or not I should just keep keep referring to him as a him, honestly, even though he didn't even transition, like, at this point in the story, like, since it's a flashback or not. So one thing that's always worrying my brain, honestly, whenever I go through any of these kind of stories. You're so cold, you know that. She's touching me like it was nothing, caressing my hair. Was she this intimate with Jorge? Or was it because I was a younger girl that she was so keen on putting her hand all over me? Before I understood what I was feeling, my body acted. Oh boy. It was pure, unfiltered impulse. In my attempts to escape from her grip, I twisted around, wanted to fly my face inches from Amy's. Slowly gravitating closer, I pressed my lips against the corner of her mouth. Oh yay. Amy sat there, flabbergasted. I was equally aghast. I'm sorry. It's friendly to put some distance between us. I'm sure my face was red as an apple, but I didn't know at the time. Well, that was certainly unexpected. I'm sorry, did I make you uncomfortable touching you so much? Amy was smiling, though. It looked forced. Yeah, just gloss over it completely. It didn't happen. So it doesn't make it awkward later. No, not at all. I must have startled you. I'm sorry, if I let you go sooner, we could avoid this accident. What do you mean, accident? A kiss on the lips is, it wasn't an accident. Oh boy, you're pushing this, honestly. Okay. Well, it makes sense, like, this is new, like, you don't want to push it down again, but oh boy. It wasn't, Amy. I seem to confuse you somewhat, Michelle. What? I know I can be very touchy-feely with you. That doesn't mean you should do the same. No? You can't do that again, alright? If you want to kiss your friends, you do it in the cheek. Save the lips for the man you love. Mm-hmm. I should get going then. Jorge starts getting cranky if I don't give him enough attention. Oh, yay. Hold on, Amy. So long, Michelle. She is just running away from it. She wouldn't hear me out. Once Amy fled my chambers, that was when I finally comprehended my own emotions. Oh boy. That she had stolen my heart. Like, again, like, Amy burst in, honestly, and squeezed the heart, honestly, like, when you were talking to Jorge, and now she ripped it out of you. But Amy was Jorge's fiancée. No, that wasn't the problem. My body was not meant for her love. Oh, that's an interesting way to actually, like, look at it. Like, that's how you realize, this is not the right body for you. Huh. That's actually an interesting way to look at it. I know there's also the whole thing of, like, I would love to read, like, more stories, like, other, like, LGBT characters, like, in a period settings. And then, like, seeing exactly how, like, all the characters, like, think and feel about that. Even though, like, I guess even by this, like, modern day standards, it'd be a bit, crass, or, like, a bit, dehumanizing, or, like, as long as, like, no, like, slurs, or less, it's, like, used in a, well, what is a way to put it? Like, slurs, I guess, in more of a character way. Like, it's not just meant to be there just purely, only for insults and just, dragging all that. I don't even know how to put it, because even, like, a story that even a game I want to show, like, has slurs and all that, but I think it's fine there. But, I don't know how to put it. Like, there's a certain way how you even put slurs in a story, honestly, and all that. Not like it's only there just to be demeaning or whatever, just, like, show what's going on. There's a weird fine line, honestly, to it. There's a few stories where, like, I think I read it where, like, it was definitely not good to have in there. Other ones where it was more fine to do it. Like, what was it? I think there was one book called The Adventures of a Huckleberry Finn, right? Where they use, like, well, obviously the N-word back there, since the whole story, like, with both white and black characters, and the whole point of that story, if I get the title right, I can't remember, I haven't read the book itself, but I heard a synopsis of it. The whole point of the book, actually, like, no, it's not Huckleberry Finn, god damn it, it's another book by Mark Twain, I forget what it's called, but his entire book was all about, like, a little kid running away with, like, going with a runaway slave, and the entire point of the story was, even though the kid was uneducated and raised all the way in the South, that kid still learned to be, like, respectful of the man, honestly. Even though the entire, like, whole book is really just the kid only using, like, honestly, slurs toward the man, like, period accurate at the time. It's a weird, fine line to have, where to be, like, accurate to, I guess, the time period it was in, but still I guess, be, what was it, accepting and, like, actually, like, going through all those different emotions and, like, feelings, actually being sympathetic towards the person in question, honestly. Like, whether trans or gay or whatever. I definitely want to read more stories like that. This feels like it's going to a sort of line towards that. I don't think, like, the story will go, like, to, like, using slurs, honestly, but, like, it definitely use more sexist language and stuff like that. Mostly just walking around the words, honestly, and just sentiments, honestly. Like, it's more implied or just directly said out loud in clear words. I awoke in the middle of the night to pain in my joints. Not enough exercise, I guess. I tried bending and stretching my arms and legs, but it did nothing. Started pondering on it for a bit. I decided to go for a late night walk to distract myself. Gotta find that sword and hold it and actually practice with it and exercise. That's what Michelle probably did, right? Like when I'm being pushed. Do we actually know what the mansion is called? Actually, in totality, the House of Fata Morgana itself. What is the house called, actually? Like, we know, like, in other stories, like, what it's called, like, it was like, nicknamed Rose Manor. Was there an actual official name given to the house? Or because it changed from owner to owner, the house's name changed with them, their surname as well? Like, the Rhodes family, or, oh god, did we actually learn Jacopo's last name, either? Huh. Did we actually learn Yukimaza's last name, or Yukimaza actually was his surname? Like, the Japanese, language, honestly, like, using, the last name, like, honorifics along with it. Or was Yukimaza's first name? Man, it's the only time we ever learned about the house being called or referred to anything, literally just Rose Manor in the first book? Wow. The first door? Wow. Huh. I can't believe I didn't even notice that until now. As I approached the corridor adjacent to the courtyard, I heard a woman's voice. Oh, hi again. Things are awkward. I'm still concerned about staying here. Oh, now. Okay, just because of that one incident. Okay. Amy's voice. But I best remain perfectly quiet. I pressed myself against the wall by the window and listened to their conversation. I knew it was improper to eavesdrop, but the sound of her voice had made me frozen in place. The tone of it, yeah, I think she's about to talk about you. It's Michelle. Afraid I've confused her. A tiny jolt ran down my spine, my muscles all tensing up at once. The sound of my name rising to her lips like that, but not in the way I would have liked. She kissed me. Well, almost, but how could I have guessed she thought of me that way? Mother told me she didn't have any female friends. They asked me to be one for her, which is why... Are you talking about Jorge's mother or your mother? I don't know. So she had only been coming to see me because Mother asked her to. I had been afraid of that. Afraid that she wasn't there to be with me. That she had no fondness for me. That my yearning for her was one-sided. She kind of scares me, the way she looks at me. Always watching every little move I make. I'm sensitive to that sort of thing. I can tell what's going through Michelle's mind. I managed to deflect it this time, but I should never have gotten friendly with her. She'd seen through me from day one. Understood what I was feeling before even I had. Well, she had, like, a lot of experience with other, like, guys before. Like, she could probably understand those looks you've been giving her. Oh boy. I guess it makes sense in hindsight. Okay, just reading that fucking line, honestly, out of the corner of my eye, God, that hit me like a fucking truck. It's disgusting. Homosexuality. Homosexuality? Did I hear her right? Something inside me crumbled. With it came an intense sense of wrongness. It wasn't that either. There it was again. That overpowering discomfort. That fear coursing through my veins. That repulsion. That irritation. That apprehension. What on earth was I? Did I view Amy as a member of the same sex? Were the things I felt Homosexual? I heard Amy sigh from beyond the window, sorry. And the man beside her, who she was confiding all this in, replied, "She's still just a child." That voice. And one with underdeveloped social skills besides. Understand that she's gonna do and say some inappropriate things. It's not uncommon for a child to mistake admiration for love. I didn't know this until recently, but when she gets something into her head, she has a tendency to run with it without thinking. Was not the man's I assumed it was. The other day, she asked me to let her be a knight. Okay, alright. There was a part I was also wondering if it was, the other drunken guy, but, like, obviously, I don't think, like, I don't even think that Amy would actually even want to talk to him, so. The other day, she asked me to let her be a knight. I can't imagine how she thought that would end any other way. Why? It's not very often there are women other than mother at the state. I imagine she simply got nervous being around you and something got mixed up in her head. Why was Didier out there with her? I hope that's all it was. Amy, hadn't you told me you thought Jorge was a gentleman? So what were you doing getting so friendly with Didier? Didier, weren't you my ally? Or was that all an act like her? You're gonna be a knight. So why were you out here with your brother's fiancé? I'm glad to have you here, so I hope you can figure something out to make it work. I'll do what I can, but I'm kind of reluctant to say this to you. Something has to change. As it is, she kind of grosses me out. Wow, you couldn't even say this out loud to her or anything like that. Wow, the wow. She grosses me out. So what? I was some sort of sick, disgusting creature? All I had done was show feelings for her, once, and even like slightly like just looks, even though you're trying to hold it back. I couldn't be Jorge's or Didier. The needles pierced me expanded, both in size and number, as soon as being skewered by a dozen of them. Now it hits me. Like, Michelle was bringing up the entire thing about needles before, honestly, I think near the ending, like when he died, honestly. So, like, that's the metaphor that he's going with. That's where it all comes from. Just little pinpricks, honestly, of, like, it just like pain or, like, just pricks all over, honestly. Like, I guess, like, not even just goosebumps, but sharper than that. And the heat sighing from the courtyard only started to make the pain worse. All I could do was recover my ears and run. Why? What were you doing out there, Didier? How am I gross, Amy? It's not real. It's all a bunch of lies. This entire house, I'm thinking about a fraud. None of it was ever real. The family gatherings, Amy's smiles, Didier's kindness. What about Jorge's? Did he agree to the marriage knowing about them? The hell were they thinking? You wanna know who's really disgusting? God damn it! I will not cry. I will not cry! I can't let myself... Girls cry. Tears are for girls, not for me. I bit down hard my lip, wrapped myself in my sheets, and pressed my hands hard on my ears. I squeezed my eyes shut as tight as I could manage, trying to get away from the things I had seen. Images of them embraced in the night threatened to float back to the surface. I shook my head, cast them off, praying I wouldn't have any nightmares. I dropped to sleep. Like, I will say, like, it's interesting, actually, just hearing, like, this, what was it, I guess, what's the best way to put it, like, realistic experience? Like, that's why I'm enjoying this story a lot more. Probably because we're actually learning more about him, Michelle themselves, like, because again, like, even though, like, there was obviously just, along with the whole fact of him, Giselle, when back in the maid, like, just showing him around with the other doors, actually, like, saying all that, like, there was something obviously missing, like, from how, like, she talked to him, and that's what, like, kind of clicked in my head and I wasn't quite enjoying, the rest of the door, because there's always one small thing missing from those stories. Like, one small thing of, like, how she told them, honestly. Well, I guess not told them, but showed them to the doors. So. But, like, now it just feels like the story has gotten more interesting. And, again, every single time I'm trying to explain why I like about the story, it comes back to this whole thing of, like, trying to use my words very carefully, of, like, I'm, not in the sense of, like, it was like, what was that? Even, like, what was it? Like, Echo, honestly, like, that's gonna be, like, gonna start later, like, kind of does in this sort of, same subject matter of, like, I just, like, internalized hatred, at least in some sense. So, what's a good way to put it? Like, it feels true, it's, like, I don't know, maybe kind of a bit relatable, like, I don't even know how to best to put it. Like, you're really, like, it feels true to character, and, like, true to life of what would be going on at the time. Like, it doesn't feel like it's shoehorned in, honestly, like everything would be fun and dandy, that whole type of thing. Like, there's still some struggle, honestly, both, like, how to deal with people outside of you, like, not accepting you for who you are, but also worrying yourself of whether you should, like, be true to yourself or actually go along with what society says of you, that whole thing. Yeah. Like, you do need those stories a lot for a lot of people. But, like, that representation even matters, too. Like, I haven't read too many stories, honestly, growing up, which, felt a bit empty. And the closest, honestly, to, those stories, honestly, is, like, those people who actually face really bad lives, honestly. Or at least, felt the kind of angst, in a sense. There's a reason why I like that kind of stories a lot. Wow. Jeez. The next day, I woke with a terrible fever. I hovered in a sweltering wave of heat, unable to tell dream and reality apart, listening to a seemingly endless stream of cracking noises. The sounds were coming from inside my body. I thought I was falling apart. Mother was horribly worried. I've never been the most healthy child, but I never fallen this ill either. Another thought hit me, like, was this before Michelle, like, hit puberty and, like, started, like, getting periods, honestly? Oh, God. I wonder if the story is gonna tackle that, too. Like, just that, I guess, maybe, like, repulsion or aversion, honestly? I couldn't get out of bed. My voice was raspy, like an old woman's. I was genuinely afraid I would wither away and die. Mother called in doctor to see me, but they all said it was the flu. That bodily pain was calm with a fever. While there was a doctor in the house, Mother was able to remain relatively calm. But once they were gone, the anxiety came back. She stayed with me, day and night, even foregoing sleep. Her hands gripped mine. They held me fast. She had her head bowed as if in prayer. Don't worry, it'll be alright, Michelle. God is watching over you. He will protect you. You are his child. You are his angel sent to earth. He will not forsake you. The doctors say it's just the flu. Though her words seemed to be directed at me, there was a vagueness in her voice, as if they were really for herself. Nice, thanks to the vote of confidence. For so long, she had wanted a daughter, and that's the only thing. Oh my god, that's literally just the only thing. Like, the second, like, Michelle's mom, like, realized, oh, I'm just gonna lose my daughter indefinitely no matter what, then there's no reason I should even keep you around, and just sent. God damn it. Oh my fucking god. Like, it still makes sense. No, I even realized that beforehand in a sense, honestly, but it's different just realizing a bit more nuance to it, honestly. I couldn't understand her fixation, but seeing her there through my cloudy eyes, I wanted to apologize for ever thinking spending time with her was agonizing. Does Michelle's mom even have any other friends besides like talking to Michelle, honestly? Oh my good god. That's what I'm also thinking now, honestly. Like, putting it all on Michelle or not. God damn it. I wonder if it's either just that or just, that whole thing. It could be either or, honestly. It could honestly be either or. How are you feeling? Your mother's here for you, don't worry. The only sound that came from my mouth was a faint gasp. I drifted in and out of sleep, my mother's hand wrapped around my own. And I had numerous dreams. Fever dream time, let's go. In my dreams, I was a man. In my dreams, I was Didier and I was Jorge. In my dreams, I fell in love with Amy. In my dreams, I loved her. I mean, like, yeah, I don't even know, like, at this point, I don't even know how to think about, like, the whole thing with Amy, honestly. Like, as Michelle putting it, just literally, was it literally just Jorge actually knew ahead of time and was mostly just going along with it? Just so, the whole estate thing and, like he knew about it? Or literally they just, like, they're both, like Amy's cheating on him or whatever. Even if, like, I don't even have a firm grasp on it, even if, like, well, I guess Amy, like, does, like, oh god, actually, yeah, Amy said herself that if she stays away from Jorge too long, he's cranky without her attention. Okay, so I don't even know if that's it. It definitely is a bit cheating. Okay, then. Oh boy. Oh boy. And in my dreams, I loved her. You're disgusting. Oh, the flashback is from here? With one word, the dreams twisted into nightmares. My body was torn to fleshy chunks, sunk into the darkness. Was the flashback literally just, like, Michelle's dreams from back then? Huh. From back here, anyway. Huh? Several days later, my fever was gone, like it had never been there. However... what the... My voice did not recover. And when I attempted to climb from my bed, the murderous pain in my joints came rushing back. So my feet, I landed on my face. Okay. My voice was unbelievably deep. And the pain only got worse. Every time I took a breath, it felt like someone hammering a spike into the back of my neck. I felt my body was falling apart. Like my dreams were becoming reality. Michelle! Michelle! My mother scrambled into my chambers. I remember the time she spent at my bedside. A wave of relief came over me. I reached my hand out in a show of vulnerability, but she didn't take it. She couldn't take it. Mother? What's wrong with your voice, Michelle? It's fever? Do people not get sick enough to realize, like, you can hoarsen your voice? Like, okay. Ah, I see you're still not feeling well, are you, Michelle? Look at some fear in her face. Mother stepped toward me, placing her hand on my forehead. Oh, it's because they all already suspected, like, Michelle was already acting like a guy, honestly. All tendencies. Oh, God. And Mom was just fucking fearful of that for just a split second. God fucking damn it. A look of strange fear in her face, Mother stepped toward me, placing her hand on my forehead. Her palm felt hot against my skin. You don't have a fever, but I hurt all over. My joints. You're still sick, Michelle. Oh, even though no fever anymore. Okay. I'm more curious actually now, like, did Michelle decide to, well, was it unconscious actually? Huh. Like, was it purposeful to keep the voice deeper on us like that? I don't even know how to approach, like, I haven't read too many stories, like, with a trans character, so it always becomes a weird war thing in my brain again, of, like, how to even address them back and forth in my brain, honestly. Like, before the transition and after. There's even, like, one story where, like, I know the whole point of, like, I think the character arc was leading towards that point as well. So, like, when I try to recommend that same story to other people, I'm like, how do I talk about this character without being disrespectful to them? It's always that thing in my brain I'm trying to be mindful of. Again, I still don't know exactly how to handle that. You're still sick, Michelle. But don't worry, you'll be fine in no time. I hope that, like, it isn't, like, hopefully I'm not acting and being disrespectful when this comes up. Like, I'm trying to address this or make some mistakes. I'm really sorry if that comes off like that. I'm not trying to. No, back to bed with you. You're a girl. You're a girl, so you shouldn't be sitting on the floor. I thought Michelle was lying in the ground because they tried getting up. What the fuck is wrong with you? A girl shouldn't be sitting on the floor, even if you tried to stand up and get out of bed and fell onto the floor, honestly. Oh my god. You're just reassuring yourself because you just wanted the kid, honestly, nothing else. Oh my fucking god, every single second learning more and more and more about this. Jesus god. Oh my god. It's bad for your back. Just the whole thing of, like, you're not even trying to meet their level, honestly. You're just putting your own whims onto them, honestly. God damn it. Ugh. As mother repeated the phrase, "you're a girl," again and again, more to herself, by the way, that nagging sense something wasn't quite right grew more distinct. It's almost always when that distinction comes up, man versus woman, honestly. Come to realization, young one. Was I really sick? Yeah, this would be another thing of, like, realizing you were... I never remember thinking, like, I definitely was, like, something was a bit wrong with me when I was a kid, honestly. That was back in the yonder days of 2015. Lots of homophobia around there. Yay. Wee. Was this actually my voice now? If it was, what was it turning into? My voice? Or something like a girl's voice? Again, I can't tell if it's really just, You have a body of a girl, but, like, were you still sick? Were you purposely doing that? My voice never went back to normal, though. Okay, that's the weird thing. I don't know how to part that in my head. Like, oh, is it a thing just like you're just like a girl just like born, just like more like when you hit puberty, like you just get a harsher voice. It sounds more like like more deep, honestly. Not even just like a womanly voice, honestly. You know, there's like some people that have that, but of course, with these people, no, that can't be it. No, or is this is this a whole thing of like they attribute to a curse, honestly? God damn it. God damn it. That's where it all came from. And that's why Michelle still felt, what is the word, insecure about it, and, like, just kept referring to himself like he was cursed, honestly. He still wasn't over it. Even though he was obviously trying to, like, transition, honestly, away from it. My voice never went back to normal, though. So Mother ordered me to remain in my room. I hadn't recovered yet, and so long as I was sick, I couldn't be let out. Again, something felt wrong about her calling it a sickness, but I had no evidence to the contrary. I had no way to know I wouldn't get others sick if I exposed them, as she claimed, so I had no choice to do as she said. In time, Mother too stopped visiting me, and the only people I saw were servants. They did their jobs, but refused to look me in the eye. No one else came to see me, though. Not Amy, Didier, or Jorge. 1 month passed, then 2, then 3. Occasionally the pain in my joints would withdraw. Other times it would worsen. Is this literally just puberty, honestly? I think it probably is, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know how else to think about this. I honestly don't. Whenever I would drift off to sleep, I would hear the sound of my own joints creaking. I would dream of a woman standing in the courtyard, her soft chestnut hair fluttering in the wind as she twirled to face me. A smile on her face and her breasts exposed. Okay. I see the wet dreams are there now. Okay. Oh boy. One day, after around 6 months of servants refusing to make eye contact, I stopped one and made a request. To have a mirror brought to my room. Well, he didn't acknowledge me. The next day I had my mirror. By that point, I was fairly certain I knew what was happening to my body. I had no clothes to wear, because none of the multicolored dresses hanging in my wardrobe fit me anymore. Pulling the heavy red cloth covering the mirror aside, my completely naked body came to view. Something resembling a mix of a chuckle and a sigh of pity spilled from my lips. This is me. 6 months. In only 6 months' time, I could hardly recognize myself. Sending my hand through the mirror, I traced the outline of my bony reflection. My shoulders lacked Mother's curves, my skin Amy's sheen. I was pale and haggard. First question, were you being fed properly? My structure looked more like my brother's. I'm trying to think now, like, if it's not, like, Michelle's body's looking more and more like a man's? I don't know the whole biology of that. Huh. A curse? That doesn't make a lot of sense, honestly. I don't quite understand where this is going at all. Obviously, being younger than them and not as active, my muscles lacked any kind of strength, but I wouldn't bat an eye if I saw myself holding a sword. I was a full head taller than I had been 6 months earlier. I felt an odd certainty that I wasn't done growing either. Staring at myself in the mirror, I traced my name across the surface. Michelle. Like, oh, they gave you a mirror that had your name on it. Okay. Don't need the last two. Michel. Huh. They definitely look more like a man now, but I'm... Huh. Like, you're born a girl, you didn't take any, like hormone treatment therapy or any, like, testosterone or anything like that, and how to go to this. Is that a thing for, for some people to grow up like that? I don't quite know. Again, I haven't read too many stories that focused on all that. Probably just because there's a whole lack worth of it, and I should read more of that, honestly. For the first time in my life, I liked my name, because it's mine. You made it. I still didn't think an angel's name suited me one bit, but it was staggering how different it felt now, even if it sounded exactly the same. Those last two letters changed the meaning entirely, turning it from a girl's name to a boy's name. This now makes sense. Everything was falling into place. My admiration for Didier, the envy I had for my brother's bodies, the feelings I had for Amy, the indecent dreams I'd been having. I was always male. Were you just raised as a girl, actually? Like you were never born as a girl, actually? I can't tell anymore. Like, if you weren't around other girls, like, Oh god, if it's that kind of thing, it's like, ugh. It didn't sound like from the beginning, you're born a guy and, you're raised as a girl, though. That's not what it sounded like. It makes it sound like, huh. Again, growing up to have, be looking more like a guy even though you're born as a girl. Might be missing something. I might very massively be missing something, or that's probably... It's fully going into supernatural actual curse thing for some reason. Or I guess, well, in this case, for Michelle, it's not even a curse, but for everyone else, it's a curse. I cackled like a fool for the first time in my life. I laughed so hard that the side of my stomach hurt. It was the first glimmer of light I'd seen in this locked room for far too long. This was what I was supposed to look like. My life up until 6 months ago, constricted and uncomfortable. My life as a girl was all a lie. No one could possibly look at me and call me an angel. I was always a boy, but I had been told I was a girl, forced to act like one. Ah. Of course that wouldn't feel right. They needed to know. Couldn't be the only one understood. Everyone in this house needed to. Feeling this one desire, I wrapped a sheet on my shoulders and threw open my door. It seemed ridiculous how long I had followed Mother's instructions and remained cooped up in my room, but now I felt fantastic. If there truly was a God in heaven, then this chain within me was his answer to my prayers. The manservant carrying a tray of food and double take as I passed him. The farther I proceeded through the corridors, the more eyes I felt on me. The midday sun shone obnoxiously bright through the windows. But now, with piercing radiation illuminating my proper self, I felt an odd affection for the light. Finally, the warm sunlight on my skin. I could feel the family gathered in the great hall. Everyone but me. Didier's voice complained about the simple meals the church provided, but his pride came through in his laughter. Jorge's voice playfully bragged about life at the royal court, and yay, again, they just all forgot about you, again. For half a year, didn't even fucking bother, talking or leaving a letter. So like what? Like in the modern day, like before like Michelle was killed and like getting letters back and forth, do they finally now actually like they now just start feeling sympathy, honestly? Only then? Father's voice informed everyone his investments had borne fruit, and with the money, he purchased several new estates. Mother's voice was distinctly less bright than the rest of the family's. She gave vague, empty indications she was listening, though mostly stayed out of the conversation. Amy's voice sang her praises for Jorge, her beloved husband, never mind the fact that she was sleeping with Didier. It was all a facade, a mere shadow of a family. It's a shame Michelle couldn't be here. Not for much longer! Then we would have everyone. I was there. I was right there. I ain't gone anywhere, you just locked me in my room. I hope she recovers soon. I was never sick at all. The child you called Michelle was actually your son. That was all there was to it. If Michelle actually was born a boy, actually, and was raised a girl, did even his brothers knew about that? Or are they also just raised as well, just thinking like, Michelle was literally just always just a girl? Oh my god. Huh? What? Everyone's gaze is concentrated on me. I gave them all a quick glance, and then with my deepened voice, I said, I am cured. I was cured 6 months ago. Who are you? You should even forgot my face, have you, Father? Michelle? Michelle? This boy is Michelle? A wave of chatter spread through the hall. Mother went pale. Father objected. Didier stared. Jorge gaped. Amy watched cautiously, fear in her eyes. What a farce. They were the ones who wrongly decided I was a girl. What's going on? Someone tell me, what's the meaning of this? You were dressing up your son like a girl, Mother? I assumed he was a girl. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put my hands on him like that. You lied to me. I would have never agreed to what I had known. God fucking damn it. No, you're wrong. Michelle's my daughter. You call that a girl? Okay. All these months I was worried because you said he was sick. But that was all a lie. You couldn't pass him up as a girl anymore, so you locked him in his room. Is that what this is? And you could have just stayed there. What possessed you to show yourself now? Oh, well, fuck you. You fucking fart. Just say it out loud like you're sleeping Didier and just like say it out loud and just like leave. Jesus Christ. Stop that. Don't look at me. Don't give me that look. You said you can tell what's going through my mind, didn't you? What? Then you should know exactly how I feel about you right now. Don't be so damned full of yourself. I have no interest in a whore like you. So why don't you go cry in Didier's arms? You... What? What are you talking about? Why, Didier? Why not me? What? Hey, anyone want to explain that for me? What had once been a nice family meal was now utter chaos. Did only Jorge actually talk to Michelle, or did both brothers actually give you letters? For the briefest moment, I felt sorry for Jorge, but whisked away almost immediately. Because again, he didn't visit you, so... There was a crash on the table, and dishes fell, shattering against the floor. Cursed. A chilling darkness oozed from her voice. She's cursed. She's my daughter, I saw my own eyes. Okay, so was true then? Huh, that is weird actually then. If it is true. I gave birth to her, she was a girl, Michelle was a girl! Malevolent curse has been placed on her. When Mother lifted her head, I had difficulty believing that was the same woman that had sat by my bedside as I lay sick, sacrificing sleep to care for me. Her hair was a frazzled mess, and deep creases covered her face. Restrain her! Throw her in her room and lock the door! Since all the other stories have been more realistic, except for the one that Giselle, lied to Michelle about, Michelle just having the death touch, and that was obviously a lie. And against the whole thing with the Morgana being a malevolent spirit following along, it feels honestly a bit weird now having, it being, whether or not it's actually showed that, he just grew up, just transitioned cleanly. without anything else happening. Especially with everyone, like, and obviously Liddy and Antonin, like, both obviously not gonna give any kind of medicine or anything like that, or even, like, that would, even have this kind of reaction. So, it just happened out of nowhere, the blue? Strainer, throw her in the room and lock the door. She's a girl. She's a girl, I swear it! Open your eyes. Do I sound like a girl? Do I look anything like a girl? Mother's cries sent me to a frenzy. I ripped the sheet off my shoulders, throwing it to the floor. I am not a girl! Did you just take off like your clothes? And shouted. Restrain her, please, someone restrain her! Fear reigned in the great hall. Then several months of icy sounds were broken by a muttering that struck me as much as anyone else. You're not a boy or a girl. What on earth are you? Wait, oh, are you? Oh, is Michelle intersex or? Huh. You're an abomination. You're not a boy. You're an abomination. There was a brief on my brain, but didn't be seen to be a hint towards that until now. I'm what? I'd seen myself in the mirror. I was undoubtedly male. Lacking strength of the abode, I had visible muscles. My chest was flat, I was taller than a girl should be. So you didn't even have that. My voice is deep and I had an obvious lump in the middle of my throat. I was male, I had to be male. So you do have, like, female genitals, but you still grow to be a male. I am honestly confused, actually. What else could I be? So why was Amy looking at me like some kind of strange creature? A chill ran down my spine. I suddenly found myself deeply uncomfortable being so exposed. There's nothing there. You got nothing there. Nothing there? I didn't understand what she was talking about. I didn't press further. I fell silent, at which point several servants burst into the great hall and restrained me. She's a girl. She's my daughter. Mother, seemingly in mad daze, just repeat the same thing over and over. She was a girl! As Mother wailed, she wandered off somewhere. Father stood there in silence. Amy stared at me with disgust in her eyes. Well, fuck you. Still again. Jorge was still in a panic, and Didier clenched his fists. Eventually started regaining my composure. It was when I realized I had made a mistake. My sickness had been made into a curse. Then I was once more caged up in my room.